Hello there, welcome to another video. And yep, somebody wanted a QR code. So what you're going to do is you're going to integrate this QR code into an application I'm working on. So the main concern is not how I got the QR code in the middle, but the main concern is to show you how you add a QR code. So I'm not really going to be focusing on how I made like this whole navigation or all this. I'll only be focusing on how I added this QR code. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete what I already have and we can start afresh. Alright, so I have everything cleared out and we can go ahead and try and work that out. So we publish this. I should have that cleared out. There you go. So we just have this same QR code here. Great. So what you're going to do is you're going to find a link to the download link, the npm package for this QR code, and what you're going to do is just install this. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go to my project folder, which is this, not really this. My project folder is this here. So this is my project folder. I'm going to go to the front end here and I'm going to open command prompt. Now open command prompt, I'm going to paste that there and we're going to install our QR code, right? So while it installs, we can go through the documentation together and see what we need to do. So what they're saying is that you need to import the QR code. So what you're going to do is copy this and you're going to go to the page where you want to display the QR code. For mine, it's in the home page. And I'm going to click on the custom view here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to import that QR code here. So I'm just going to paste it. So if you check these out, I've already pasted the QR code in there. Now the next thing that remains is to go to where you want your QR code to appear. So mine, I want my QR code to appear somewhere here. So we can check on the progress of our QR code installation, and as you can see, it has installed the QR code successfully. So you can close the terminal. Now we want to go to how they are doing things here. So we are not interested in this approach, we are interested in this approach here. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it inside where I want my code to be displayed. Right, there we go. Now there's one thing you need to notice. If you want the QR code to just have a static value, you don't have to use this full colon, right? So let's say for example, you just want to maybe say like the QR code is a link like https google.com. So when somebody opens the QR code, scans the QR code, they should go to google.com. Then you don't really need to put the full colon here. So the purpose of the full colon in Vue.js is to mean that this particular value that you're going to put here is going to be coming from a variable. Now what do I mean with that? For example, in our custom JavaScript here, you notice I have a lot of variables here. So for example, if you wanted this link copied class, or maybe let's say this link copied icon to be the value of the QR code, then you do a full colon here. You do a full colon. Where is this thing? You're going to do that full colon, and the value you're going to do is now put the name of the variable you want this to be. But now in my use case, my application, basically my application is a gifting application. So what I'm trying to do is I want the a few things from the user. So maybe I want the wallet ID of the user, or maybe I want the label link for the user, which would be this, right? So obviously I want it to be dynamic. At the same time, what I can do is in my project, you notice I have this user table and they have wallet ID. So I might want to get the wallet ID of this user and use it as a QR code. So the way we do this in Vue radsystems, we want to get these from the user session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that page where we have that custom view for the modals. Okay, which is here. And now I'm going to say this is going to be coming from the session, and we get the session by doing out.user, right? Now the next dot has to be followed by the name in your users table, which with the name of a field in your users table. So my users table is this table. So any name which is in here can be accessed by doing out.user.field name, right? So that's what I'm going to be showing you now. So since we want the name of the wallet ID, I'm just going to do wallet ID. So when we load this QR code, the value of that QR code should be the wallet ID of this user. So when somebody else scans their QR code, they should be redirected to a page where they should be able to make a payment to that wallet ID. So if I come back here, I now have this QR code right here. But now I might need to customize this QR code a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open my project inside my code editor so that I don't have to keep doing it in radsystems, and only transfer it to radsystems when I'm comfortable with the result. So okay, so we open our code editor here, and we are going to go to the pages here, and I'm going to go to home, and I'm going to search for QR. Right, so I want to look for that QR. Here you go. So this QR will be displaying our user wallet ID, and if you want to make sure that it's actually our user wallet ID, we can try and display it down here. So this should only be the wallet ID of this particular user from that particular session. So if I click on this, you notice how we get the wallet ID. Yeah, so this is the value which is in the QR code. Great. So now we can play around with the parameters which we are given that we can work with. So we have the props. The first one is the value, which is what we just added. The next one is the size. So you can increase the size of the QR code. Next is the margin, the level. So this is the level of complexity. So what I mean by level, if for example you notice our QR code is of level H. So what would happen if you change it to level Q like this? So what happens is that when you go back to your application, you notice that now your QR code will look a little bit different. There you go. If you change this to level L, you should get it looking a little bit different from how it was earlier. So we also have level M here. So those are the levels that you can play around with. So level M. There you go. So in this on this page, it might not really make that much sense to you, but if you check, if you go to the page here and you come and click on this link where you can go and test it, it should bring you to this page where you can play around with the levels like this. So the levels will make sense when you start adding more of, maybe your stuff is bigger like that, so you should see that it changes, right? So that's the whole point. Now you have the option to either render it as a canvas or an SVG. You can change the foreground. So the foreground would be this. You could change the background, and that would be that. So that's what we are trying to do here with these values. So let's change the foreground. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to come and paste it here, right? So the foreground, we have to give it a value. So how I do this is I'm going to open this project somewhere here. Let me just open this project here, and I just want to get some of the classes here, the layout styles, the colorings, and all that stuff. So maybe I want to get service 100, right? So maybe I can say service 100. Yeah, let's go for this service 400. So I'm just going to copy that and I'm going to transfer it here. So if I go back to my application, I can reload this, and there we go. We have a QR code that looks like that. The next thing I can do is the background. So let's go back here and let's take the background. Okay, so you can come here, do the background, and you can also do the same maybe for the background if you like. So you can play around with how you want your background to look like. I don't like it, so I'm just going to go here and let me take service 50. Right, so let me take service 50. Let me see. There you go. I think that will do it for me, but I want my color to just match with this, and that is a blue 50. So I'm going to go for blue 50, which should match exactly with what I want. Yep, this. So the reason why I'm picking this blue 50 is so that this will match with the background of what I have, right? So now by default, automatically this should now match. There you go. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a class. I'm just going to say margin top, that should be 5. Okay, and I have it there. Right, so I'm done with my QR code. So these values can be anything. So now basically what you might want to do is maybe you might want to just play around with it and see what you can do. However, if you are adding this in a list page, what you can do is maybe copy this, right? And I will show you an example where maybe you might add it in a list page. Where might you add it in a list page? Let me see. Gifts. Okay, let me see if I can add that QR code here just for demonstration purposes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this. Since I'm already done with it, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to now transfer it into my front end here. Okay, and save your project. Now we can go to gifts. We go to gift here. Or rather, let me see, privacy policy. Let me see, privacy policy, like that. Yeah, so let's display this whole text as a QR code. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to that privacy policy list page here, create some JavaScript, and I want to transfer to import the QR code here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here, click on import, copy that, and transfer it here. We are done with that. The next thing I want to do is I now want to go to the list page, and on the content, because this is where I want to display this QR code, I'm going to just come here and I'm going to now copy this QR code here. Okay, copy that and paste it here. So now the value is going to be what we get here, this value here. Now in case you don't know how I go to this page, in radsystems here, display type by default is normally text, but you can change it to be custom so that you can manually add the code design that you want. So I want the content to be this. So I'm just going to do this, and I can say class is equals to hidden, because I want it to be hidden for now, and click on OK. So if I publish this and I go back to my application, we should now have QR code on this particular page. So reload that, So in case you notice like this is taking too long to load, what you can do is you can try and check what the console is saying. So I'm just going to come here, expand this. I'm going to close this so that I can see what the terminal is saying, and I'm going to do inspect, and I'm going to go to console. Data too long. So yeah, so it says the data is too long to complete. So what we can do is we can use the date here. So it seems like the QR code has a limit, so I'm going to use maybe date created here to display this particular stuff. So let's go here, and instead of content, let's use date created. So it can be anything that you want to display in this QR code here. So that's really up to you. So if you reload this, now we have that QR code displaying there just fine. So if you go to the view page, you notice that it's still not there. So you can do the same step, but for the view page, import, go to design, import the QR code there, then do whatever you want, and that would be it. So that would be it for this video, guys. I hope in case you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. But if you feel like you would like to support the channel, you could always hop into our Patreon, and the link is also available in the description below. However, I will also include the link to the application, basically the way the npm package where you're going to get the QR code and all that stuff. So in case of any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I will answer them when I can. Bye.